Hey divas, how are we doing? I hope we're all doing well and great and awesome. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Anyway, hi. Happy New Year. I hope everybody had a great holidays. Thank God 2025 is over. I'll be the first to say it. I'm not the first to say it. Thank God it's over, dude. But man, I found Salem's whisker. It's in my bed. Guess he didn't need it anymore. I hope you're all doing well. I have a lot to talk about because it's been a minute since I recorded the episode that came out a while ago. It was last week, was filmed the week before Christmas, so, it's been a minute since I've sat down and, filmed anything, because I've been busy. I had family over for the holidays, and then they were here. There were, 20 people in my house on Christmas Eve, and then there was, a little less than that on Christmas Day, but we had family over. And then I went to Nashville to go see the Rangers play the Predators, and they lost. So that was so fun for me. I was so excited to be there and watch my team fucking lose. It was embarrassing because the Predators suck ass. They're not good. And but the Rangers have been having a moment, and I don't know what the fuck has been going on lately. They did win the Winter Classic last week. I do think it's because Zoran Mondami got sworn into office. I'm not gonna lie. I truly think Eric Adams and fucking Como, cursed them because they brought bad juju into the city. I swear. City Island has been a nightmare since those two have been, and now Zoran is there. And I need to go. I miss New York so bad. That's where I'm from. And I love it so much. It calls to me. I yearn to go to the Big Apple. But yeah, I just got the news though that Igor is injured, which is so sick. Fuck! And Fox also is injured. Great. I love that. Dude, I don't know what's going on. I mean, Quick isn't a bad goalie. He's actually a pretty good goalie. He was actually playing the Predators game. And the fact that the Preds only got 2 goals, one with Quick in the goal, and another they took Quick out of the goal for an extra offensive player. Not that it matters because they don't know how to keep it in on the offensive side, but the way that they played at the Winter Classic was crazy. It was so entertaining. It was so good. I don't know what they lost in overtime yesterday. They did score the first goal against Utah. I don't know what happened other than I wasn't able to watch it, so I was reading. So I think Quick got into a fight with someone, and there was goalie interference, and then I know Igor got injured yesterday. Yeah, there was a lot happening, so I'm not really sure what the fuck happened. I think I need to watch highlights because I'm very confused as to why a bunch of them are beaten up. I know that's their job, but still, come on, man, what the fuck. Anyway, the Kraken, Seattle Kraken's been doing great, and so have the Islanders, so I have that at least going for me. I have a lot of friends that are getting into hockey now, and I said this in the last episode. I've been a hockey fan for a very long time. There are literally 2 halves of my year. The NASCAR season ends right after the hockey season begins, and then hockey goes on during NASCAR off season, and then there's a period of time until June, because of the Stanley Cup, that NASCAR and hockey overlap, and I'm full of joy and whimsy because my 2 favorite sports are happening at the same time. But I have seen so many people being well, I really want to get into hockey. A lot of my friends have been getting into it because of heated rivalry, there are just so many people I know that are getting into hockey now, and I'm like, it's great. Just don't rely on one team to make you happy, because if they have a shit season, you're gonna be miserable all season long. So have a few teams that you follow that you really like. I mean, I think that goes for like any sport, because like people who are like diehard fans for certain teams, like I respect it, but like almost everyone I know, they have like their number one team. Like everybody has their number one team. And then you have like a few that you're like, oh, if they win, I'm not gonna be mad about it. I'm the same way with racing too. Like Chase Elliott is my number one, my ride or die. I cried the last time he won. I screamed when I was watching the Kansas win. Okay, I was in my house, but I was straight up screaming my fucking head off so much. I scared my cat. And also I was there in Atlanta when he won, and I actually cried after. Not to be dramatic, but I did cry. I've been a fan of his since I was 10. Like, well, no, for 10 years. I talk about this every time. But, however, comma, I just, like, it, dude, but I have, like, other drivers that if they win, I'm actually, like, pretty happy. Like, I love Ryan Blaney. When Ryan wins, I get ecstatic. I'm so happy for it. I've actually seen him win way too many times in person. Like, I'm always there for some reason. I'm always there. I saw him win in Nashville. I saw him win in Daytona, which was a fucking insane race for the Coke Zero 600, 400, 300? 400, 500, 400. It's a 400. It's 400. I don't know. There's a lot of laps. There's 400 of them. It's 400. The Coke 600 is Charlotte. Yes. Okay. What I've been doing, like, I, like, have other people that I follow. So, like, I've been doing the same thing with hockey. So, I will root for a New York team no matter what. That's where I'm from. The only good football team right now is the Bills, I'm pretty sure. Because we don't need to talk about the Jets, we don't need to talk about the Giants, it's just sad. But, like, everyone I know, like, has, like, a few teams that they're like, yeah, if they win. Like, my dad is a diehard Jets fan, but, like, if the Eagles are playing, he'll root for the Eagles because my Nana is an Eagles fan. So, like, he'll be like, yeah, the Eagles gotta win. But also, my dad just loves sports for sports less than, like, the team. Like, he'll watch stuff, like, sports, even if his team isn't playing, because he enjoys the sport. I am not that way. I will watch hockey games if one of my favorite teams is playing, but I very rarely will just, like, turn hockey on. I do love watching hockey. That's not a false statement. I did go to a minor league game this past week. The home team won, which is in Georgia. And I will be going to another one next Saturday, because they're doing NASCAR night. And so, like, me and my sister were like, well, we have to go. Because I went to the Braves game when they did NASCAR night, mainly because Chase Elliott was there, but also because it was NASCAR night. I don't like baseball, but I was there. We bought tickets. I sat and watched the game for 6 innings, and then we went home because I was bored. But, like, you know, it is what it is. But, like, it's fun. Like, I enjoy it. I do love watching hockey, though. Like, it's such a fun sport. I just, like, if there are two teams that I don't like playing, I'm not watching the national game. I'm sorry. I, like, who was it there? It was, like, the fucking Knights and then, like, the Predators, and I was like, I'm not watching this fucking game. I refuse to watch this goddamn game. I'm sorry. I don't like either of these teams. But yeah, so been in my hockey life lately. I do forget how much I do love it, because it is fun. I did bring my best friend. She came with me and my sister to the minor league game that we went to go see in Georgia, and she's never, like, really been interested in, like, hockey and stuff, and so she was like, I actually really enjoy this. I think I might have a new obsession coming along. And I was like, period. And so there were 2 fights. I think, like, minor league games are more intense and violent because they are always, they don't care as much. They care, but they don't care as much. There's less at stake, I would say. And so, like, they will beat the shit out of each other. It doesn't matter. They don't care. And so there were 2 fights when we were there, but it was a good game. It was fun. I had a good time. It was Star Wars night. They had, like, theming and everything. It was really awesome. But yeah, I think that they should take the roof off of MSG though, because maybe the Rangers will start winning, because every single outdoor game they've played, they've won. Which is crazy to think about statistically. Like, every time you guys have played outside, you win. They're 6-0 in outdoor games. Take the roof off of MSG. I'm going to write to Mondami and be like, listen, the Rangers suck. They need help. Remove the roof off of MSG. Please. It's cold enough up there that you guys can do that, and it will be fine. So when we went to Nashville, we went to this, like, used book store, and it wasn't just books. They had, like, games and collectibles and fucking, like, movies, and it was 2 stories, and it was huge. It was like a fucking warehouse. It was insane. And we were wandering around for like an hour. I found a Princess Leia Brickhead's figure, and it's her from the 4th episode. And I don't have any of those, and so I, upon doing further research, realized there are a lot of Star Wars Brickheads I don't own. Because I collect them. I've been collecting them since they were releasing them for, I think, when Ahsoka came out. That's when they were releasing, when they started releasing the ones for Ahsoka, I bought them. So the first one I got was Ahsoka, and I also got Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, because Obi-Wan Kenobi came out. Did Obi-Wan come out before Ahsoka? I think it did. I don't remember. Yeah, it came out before Ahsoka. So the first ones I got, well, they released Ahsoka around the same time. And then they did the anniversary ones for Phantom Menace. And then they did the anniversary one. And so, like, they've been doing it for, like, every 25 years or something. Like, when there's, like, an anniversary going on, they would release, like, a set. And it's, like, 4 or 5 of them. So I have those. I also have the Mandalorian and Grogu. Because, obviously, I have, like, the Tusken Raider. I have fighter jet Luke in his, like, uniform, because he was separate. I have one of the clone stormtroopers from the Clone Wars. Like, I have a bunch of them. And then, like, I was like, oh my god, there are more that I don't have. And it's, like, one of the few things that, like, I, like, collect and, like, have been weird about. Like, every time they come out, I'm like, I need them. I need it. Because, like, I'm like that with certain things. I think that's, like, the biggest thing. I don't know what else I have that's like that. I don't think there really is anything else. Because, like, I love the little brickheads. I love Legos. But I don't have space to put Legos all over the place. That's the problem. So, like, I don't have a lot of space right now in my room. So, like, that's the other thing. Like, I do have, like, a bunch of Harry Potter Lego sets. Like, that's the other one I would say that maybe, like, I buy. But I don't buy them often because the sets are huge and I don't have anywhere to put them. I do love building Legos, though. It's so, like, comforting and chill and such a nice thing to do. But I did find a guy on eBay who was selling a bunch of, like, the old brickheads. The, like, first release Star Wars ones. They're all new, never opened. So I bought a bunch of them and I'm waiting for them to come. I'm genuinely so excited for them to arrive because I bought, I think, like, 10 different ones. No one look at me, okay? I'm just a girl who loves Star Wars and Legos and brickheads, okay? The Lego brickheads are so cute and I love them so bad. So, yeah, speaking of, I did get brickheads for Christmas. I got I think you can see them in the frame. They're back here. They're over here. But I got the Wicked ones. Those were the ones I wanted so bad. When my sister and I went down to Orlando for Warped Tour, we went to Disney Springs one day for dinner, and then we went into the Lego store, and that was the only Wicked Lego set I wanted, and it was the only one they didn't have, and I was so bummed. I did almost buy the Stranger Things Brickhead set. I don't think I'm going to, though, because I think it's just the core 4, and as much as I loved, and it's season 1, thankfully, but, like, as much as I love season 1, I have Stranger Things Funkos, but I don't have a lot of them from season 1. Oh, that's the other thing. The It Funko Pops, when they were coming out for the Losers Club for Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, I did buy all of them. And I did learn that there are a few from Chapter 2 I don't have, and then I'm like, okay, I need to get these. I think it's 3 of them that I'm missing. It's either 2 or 3, I can't remember, but, like, I, like, went insane and, like, made sure I had all of the Losers, and then any of the ones that came out for Chapter 2, and I have most of them from Chapter 2, which I do think it was just Pennywise, because they didn't remake the Losers Club, which really bothered me. Like, I want the adult Losers and kid Losers as Funkos, please. Thanks. If they do ever come out with a full Brooklyn Nine-Nine Funko Pop set or something, I think I might lose my mind. Yeah, so the holidays were good. Like I said, there were so many people in my house. I did get a bunch of, in addition to, like, Legos, and I got both the Sabrina Carpenter albums on vinyl, which was awesome. And then I also got a bunch of gift cards to Barnes & Noble. And that is what I always, like, when people are like, what do you want? I'm just like, get me a Barnes & Noble gift card, because they always do an end of the year sale. And that's really the only time of year where I will go to Barnes & Noble and buy a bunch of books. So, like, throughout the year, like, I'll, like, mark ones that I want for, like, Christmas and stuff. And then ones I don't ask for Christmas, I'm like, well, a lot of the time I get gift cards to Barnes & Noble, so I'm just going to make a list, and they always have a sale, and I'm a premium member, so I always get an extra 10%, and so I bought 20 books when I went for the Barnes & Noble sale, because it's like over 3 days or something, and it was only 25% off the entire store, and then the first day, I think it was 50% off most hardcover books. That's what it used to be. The sale used to be 50% off all hardcover books, and then 25% off select items, and then they switched it, so it is 25% off everything in store, I think, except for, like, magazines and puzzles. I think that was it, but everything was 25%, including, like, Legos and toys and music and things like that. So, like, they had, like, a huge sale. It was busy as fuck. That's, like, the busiest Barnes & Noble ever is. Whenever I go in there is during that time, or even when they do triple stamps for premium members, there aren't that many people there. That is the only other exception when I will go, and that is usually because it's around my birthday. It's either after my birthday or like a few months after my birthday or around my birthday, and I will ask for gift cards because I know that sale's coming up, and so, like, I'll use the gift cards and go and buy books. So with the gift cards, with rewards, I only had to spend $100 of my own money, but it wasn't even of my own. It was of cash that I got for Christmas. So girl math, it's free. Girl math, it's free. It's not, I'm not spending money, actually, because it's cash. It doesn't count. But it was $350 worth of books that I got for only $100, which is fucking insane. Because, like, I know now, like, I went in, I was like, I know certain books I do want to get. They didn't have some that I wanted, so I did have to, like, ask them to order a few. And then I still had a bunch of rewards left over after the fact, because I spent only $100 for $300 worth of books because I had gift cards and stuff. So, like, I'm not counting, like, yes, it was $350, but I had $125 in gift cards. Then I had rewards that I had saved up because I knew the sale was coming up. I always stockpile my rewards. They're always like, do you want to use your $5 reward? I'm like, no, save it. Because they don't expire. They don't expire for premium members, and I have premium for the next 2 years, either for this year and next year, because I got a free year of premium from my credit card company. We don't need to talk about it. I have a problem. The problem now is that I have no space for books. They're like literally off to the side over here. This is the edge of my bookshelf of one of them. I have another bookshelf and then another one over there. That's under my window where Salem sits all the time. There are just piles of books on top of it, books in front of books. Everything is double stacked now because I don't have space. I just like, I don't have room because 98% of all of my possessions are in my bedroom right now because I haven't moved out yet. But that's a goal for this year, is to finally move out. I'm really hoping it happens because I need it. So, yeah. Anyway. So, I just, it was like and so like I went back and like got some other books, and then like I ordered more books on the 1st because I had $30 in rewards from when I bought all the books during their sale. So I got even more books. Those are coming, I think, tomorrow, if I'm being entirely honest. So yeah, I'm at a point where I don't know how many books are unread. It's 80% that's on my shelf right now. And that is a problem because I also don't have space. I don't have any more room. But like, I think that's a goal for me this year, is like, I'm not going to buy a physical book, unless it's something I've already read. Via, whether that be I got the audiobook from the library or I read it from the library and I don't have my own physical copy, then I will buy it if I liked it. If I don't like it, obviously I'm not going to buy the physical book. I don't need the reminder of a book that I hate. Or if it's like a very nice special edition of a book that I love, which like I've been getting the Emily Henry ones as they've been coming out, because I love all of her books. I think the only one I won't buy is Happy Place, because I did not enjoy Happy Place. But like, I don't really want to buy books that are just gonna sit on this damn shelf, because I had to stop my Book of the Month subscription. Couldn't keep up with it. I stopped my Fairy subscription, one, because they would take forever to come. I don't know what the hell is going on at Fairy Loot, but my October subscription box, no, it was September. My September subscription box, oh my god, I can't talk, came in November, dude. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It infuriated me so much. Anyway, so, but also, it was just way too expensive. Like, it was getting to a point where I was like, I'm paying $70 almost for 2 books that I don't even know if I'm gonna like them. Yes, they're special editions and it comes with like art and things like that, but I don't know if I'm gonna like the book, and just because the book is pretty doesn't mean I'm gonna like it. So I canceled that as well. I had to cancel, there was another one that I had, and I canceled that one too. I couldn't keep up with it anymore, so I stopped, and I'll use the rule is I'm not going to buy books that I haven't read unless it is a big sale and I have gift cards. That's the only exception. And because I'm getting bang for my buck, and also I'm not really paying for it. So like, it doesn't count. I'm putting air quotes around everything right now. The other is I need to focus on my physical TBR. I have far too many books I need to read, and I am very curious. I think what I'm going to do tomorrow, which is insane, it's going to be a video, obviously, because content, but, like, it'll be on TikTok, probably. But I'm going to count all the books that I haven't read and pull them from my shelf. And just to visually see how many books I have that I haven't read yet, which is a problem. It's a problem. I have a problem. But now we're going to talk about the But I do have some goals for 2026. But before I talk about goals for 2026, I do want to reflect on last year. So last year was awful. I'm not even gonna lie. So much happened, and a lot of it wasn't good. I went through probably the most stressful 6 months of my life from July until the end of the year, because a lot of things happened with work, which was why I haven't posted anything on YouTube in 6 months, because on my main YouTube channel, not here. This was a coping mechanism for me to be able to still create and talk and Gap and get all of that out, other than like TikTok, because I didn't have the capacity to be doing my job full time that I was doing, because I was doing far more than I should have been and wasn't getting the compensation I deserved. And it was just like a lot of like no communication, no resources being provided. It was very stressful. It was a very stressful time. And I was kind of the main person that was working on everything, because I was kind of the one person on the team that really knew anything about racing in terms of like NASCAR. And on top of that, all of this was happening in the middle of the network's coverage for our races, and then after that was the playoffs started like 3 weeks later. So like it was just pure chaos. It was insane. And so like I did not have time to like, by the time I was and working in social media, like by the time I was done doing my paid job, I couldn't bring myself to work on stuff that I wanted to work on. So like my spark died a little bit. Like my creative spark was suppressed. It still is there. It was still there. I just didn't have the energy or the time to really put any work into it, because what was happening was the days that I was off, I was going to therapy, and then I was spending the day doing things around my house, running errands, things like that, and just like kind of having to like recoup myself for 2 days during my weekend, because I was so stressed out during the week. And like even on my days off, I wasn't fully away from work, if that makes sense, because I was the main person like having to worry about things. So like there were times where I was like having to like do things on my day off, and like obviously I like put that time in, because like they were like, you have to log all of the hours that you're working. And so like I was getting overtime and stuff, but it was very stressful, and it was a lot for me, and it really exhausted the shit out of me. By the time the NASCAR season was fucking over, I was exhausted. I think the first day that I was off after I got back from championship weekend, I slept for like 12 hours straight, because I was drained, and I was drained from like months of work and months of trying to do things and months of stress. So like it just like wasn't fun. I was like having to catch up on things, and then right before championship weekend I like got not great news in terms of all this. So I was like having to cope with things too, on top of like the stress of championship weekend, and then coming back from championship weekend now having to process all of that, but I couldn't because I was tired. So like it was just like I was burnt out, and I haven't like had that level of burnout in a while, in a really long time. I think the last time I have experienced that level of burnout was after college, because it was the same thing of like for 6 months until I graduated, like January until June of 2023 when I graduated school. I was on set every week. I was working full time because I had to work because I had rent to pay for. I then went through one of the worst emotional things to ever happen to me at the time. And then that was another thing. There was so much emotional shit going on this past year that I need to leave in 2025, because I can't do it again. So it was just like crying all the time last year. I was just so drained. So I'm going into this year with a lot of hope. for things, and just like I'm trying to get back on it and doing stuff, and I know this season is hopefully going to be a little bit better than it was last year. I'm hoping, because I will lose my damn mind. But like it's just like, it was just so rough for me, and like it's so frustrating because like 2024 wasn't that bad. I would say 2024 was fun for me. It was a good time. 2023, end of 2023 was a mess because I was dealing with things. 2024 was okay. Last year sucked, and now I'm just like, okay, I'm just like, this year needs to be better. I'm gonna fucking lose my goddamn mind. A lot of good things came out of, some good things came out of it. I want to look at a few wins. I went to the gym. I started going to the gym consistently, which was awesome. I feel a lot better about myself. Still not where I want to be, but we're working on it. We're working on it. On top of that, on top of all of the work stress, I still did work my first full NASCAR season, which, as exhausting as it was very rewarding, and it was a lot of fun, and I met a lot of people that I wouldn't have met if the things that did happen didn't happen. So it's like, yes, what happened was stressful and horrible, and I was a wreck for months, but a lot of good also came out of it. But I did work my first full season, and it was very rewarding in the end. In the grand scheme of things, it was rewarding. I made a lot of new friends this past year, like in the racing community and stuff, which was super awesome. Started this podcast, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing yet. I don't know if it's a win or not. But it's brought me a few of you guys that I love seeing your comments when I post, and it's being like, oh my god, I can't wait for the next episode. I love you guys so much. So yeah, I do have some goals for 2026 that I want to go over. Because obviously, last year I made the goal to read 100 books and watch 100 movies. That didn't happen, but I actually was not that short. I think I was 18 movies short and only 11 books short, which is fucking crazy. I'm insane. Anyway, I read 89 books and I watched 82 films. And the thing is like, it's not like I wasn't watching shit either. Like, I was watching TV shows and stuff, but I don't like count television towards film watching because they're two different things. So it doesn't count. It doesn't count. Like, it doesn't count. Okay. So goals for 2026. I want to read 100 books. We're going to do it. I already have 2 done. And it's the 6th of January. I've read 2 books already. Win. I want to watch 100 movies. I've already seen 2. Whoa. No? Leave that in. I will be going to go see another one tomorrow. Fucking Christ. I just could. English is my first language. You wouldn't believe it if you heard me speak. We're going to the gym at least 3 times a week. It's gonna happen. Already have made this we're making it a habit. I mean, I was going every other day, and then I realized I'm going to the gym too much. My body isn't resting enough. So we're doing 3 times a week. And that's the goal. 3 times a week, and then I would fall behind when I was like traveling for work. That's not happening anymore because we're fixing the sleep schedule. That's also by order of my therapist. I need to fix my schedule. She yelled at me last week. Moving into my own apartment. We're moving out. Me and Salem are moving up. Okay, me and Salem, we're gonna get our own place, and I'm probably gonna get him a sibling. I'm gonna give birth to another cat in the year 2026. We're saving $20,000. It's gonna happen. I want to post at least 1 YouTube video a month. I do have bigger ambitions than that. I am working on 2 right now. 1 should be coming out next week, and then another should be coming out at the end of the month. That final week of January. So 1 is the minimum, 2 is the max, I think, in terms of like my work schedule, because like it is also still off season for me right now, not for much longer, but it is off season for me right now, so we'll see how I do with that. But we're also going to be posting podcast episodes weekly, unless something else happens, and like it's a holiday or whatever, or something's going on. Usually this will be out every Friday. Hopefully, because my beautiful, wonderful friend Hales is editing the podcast. You guys could go follow her down below. I got a meal prep that needs to happen. We're limiting screen time. I want to crochet my own Afghan. I am going to start one. I'm going to start one hopefully tomorrow. Or like the key. I want to start like a key or something. Because I was doing it where like I made a bunch of squares. Because I was like, I'm going to make a granny square for every single book that I read. I hate sewing granny squares together. It is my least favorite part of crocheting is when I have to sew the project together. Part of me thinks that if I just stare at it long enough, it will do it itself. That's unfortunately not how that works. But a girl can dream. We're reading 50% of my physical TBR. I don't know how much of that is yet, but we'll figure it out. We're prioritizing her because there are too many books on there. I want to reach 20K on YouTube. I want to reach at least 1K on the podcast on the podcast channel. Whether that be YouTube, Spotify. YouTube and Spotify are kind of like the main places where I'm also on Apple Podcasts, but Apple Podcasts is such a mystery to me. I don't really understand her. We're going to reach 15K on TikTok. I'm almost at 10, so that shouldn't be too hard, I would think. Don't quote me on that. And then 5K on Instagram, hopefully. That's being ambitious, okay? That's being really ambitious. But yeah, those are some goals that I have for this year. I think it will work out. I think it will be fine. I really do. So yeah, we're gonna do it. I'm feeling better about this year, I think. But like I felt that way last year, and it was a fucking hot mess. But I don't think that that's going to happen again. What are the odds that the same thing happens twice? Very limited. Very limited. Anyway, I saw the Stranger Things finale in theaters. We're going to talk about that for a little bit, because I have a lot of thoughts, and this is what that second video is going to be. It's going to be talking about that, and also Welcome to Derry, in a video essay format. So, like, there's going to be more thought put into it than what I say now. I'm not spoiling anything here. I will be spoiling stuff in that video, though, so you don't have to skip ahead or anything like that. But I saw it in theaters because I was like, well, they're releasing it in theaters. I remember when the first season came out. I've been watching the show since season 1. I was in high school, bro. That was like almost 10 years ago. Like, I was 15 years old. Like, it's just, like, it's been part of my life for such a long time. And it really is, like, the end of an era. So I was like, I could just watch it at home, like I have every other season. But I feel like experiencing it in a theater will be just so much better. And also, I just love going to the movies. It's one of my favorite things to do. And, like, I pay for AMC stubs. I don't go enough. I need to be going more. Because, like, I love going to the movies. It's so much fun. It's such a good time. There's so many good films coming out. Like, I really do love it. But I was incredibly disappointed by the Stranger Things season finale. And sitting there in the theater for 2 hours and 5 minutes, because that was the total runtime, was a lot. Because I was so confused when I looked down at my watch and I was like, only an hour has passed. And I understand why they couldn't split it into 2 episodes, because no one would have probably watched that last episode. Probably, maybe, I don't know. So, like, I get why they only put it into 1, and it was 2 hours instead of 2 1-hour episodes. But also, the amount of plot holes that were in the show, that, like, I was, like, going into the finale, okay? I mean, they've done this every single season. The Duffers have always done this. They have, like, 4 plots going on. There's like the main plot where they all connect, but like there's 4 subplots connected to that main plot, and the main plot is the Upside Down. Going into the season finale for season 5, I was kind of confused and also hopeful because I was like, there's so much they have to tie up, but it is over 2 hours long, so I have faith that would be possible. They could theoretically do that in 2 hours, is tie up all the loose ends that were necessary. That is not what happened. There were still so many plot holes, things that just like weren't explained. And then that day that it came out, because I think the finale came out, on the 31st? I went and saw it the 1st, so the next day. I didn't go and see it New Year's Eve. I saw it on New Year's Day. The Duffers then on New Year's Day, I believe, had an interview, and they were answering questions and about the plot holes and stuff, and every single answer that they gave was like, oh, we don't know. Oh, we guess this happened. You guess? Motherfucker, you wrote the damn show. What do you mean you don't know? My favorite answer, though, that they gave, they were like, oh, yeah, like, all of these questions will be answered in a spin-off show that we're doing. Oh my god, their egos... The show had an ego death because their egos are the reason why the show fucking suffered. It really is. And, like, it just, like, the craft that went into this season was not that good because it took them way too long to do season 4. I know it was because of the pandemic, but there were also ways around things. Then they took way too long to do season 5, and I don't want to hear the fucking bullshit of, oh, well, the strike. There was time before the strike even happened. Girl, you can't say shit when the entirety of The Summer I Turned Pretty happened in between seasons 4 and 5 of Stranger Things. 3 seasons of a show happened in between 2 seasons of one show that had been going on for almost 10 years. The fact that it was almost 10 years and only 5 seasons came out is fucking crazy. That's insane. It's because they shot season 2 not too long after season 1. And then they shot season 3 a lot longer than the time they did between 1 and 2. But 2 and 3 was more time. They backtrack on decisions that they've made. And it was especially apparent in this season as well, because they did not stand by some major decisions that were made. I'm not going to say what they are. But, like, you can't backtrack, bro. That's not how this works. And the fact that then they were crashing out over people calling them out about the plot holes in the show after they gave those interviews and stuff, and they were like, well, we don't even know what we were saying. You're not making it better for yourself. You are making yourself look like a damn fool because, like, the work should speak for itself. If your writing does not answer all of the questions that you have proposed in your own writing, it's not good. You can't leave these giant gaping plot holes and be like, yeah, it's fine. We'll do a spin-off series and that will answer questions. No, bitch, no one's gonna fucking watch that. You wanna know why? Because all of the questions and shit that you brought up in your own fucking show should have been answered. You should have planned for that. You should have locked everything down. What you should have done, and I don't know if they did this or not, and if they did, I don't know if they used it. You should have sat down and watched every single episode of every single season leading up to writing season 5 and taken down notes of this plot point, this is what's important, this is what we need to conclude in the season finale, in the series finale, not even the season finale, in the series finale. Then they introduced other things that I was like, why are we bringing this up again? I thought this was, we resolved this issue seasons ago. This was done. Why are we bringing it back up? I'm confused now. I just, like, it really, it drove me insane, and I was so furious after leaving, because I was like, I have spent almost 10 years, 5 seasons of the show, following the show, and that finale was just such a big disappointment. It was so disappointing, and I don't think it was received well at all. I'm pretty sure most of the audience reviews have been negative, if not all of them. At least the ones that I've seen have been negative. Like, I've seen people being like, well, I'm happy the way things went because XYZ. And, like, I can understand that. But at the same time, when you have a show with the show that they have, there were no stakes. The stakes weren't big. The stakes were there, but they didn't care about them. They didn't matter. And I think that that's when, like, you have emotional stakes in stuff, and when you don't actually, like, withhold that or care about that or, like, maintain it, people get bored because you have nothing for people to worry about. You have nothing for people to worry about. And, like, then you're backtracking on shit, too. Then it's like, okay, well, then anything can happen, and it doesn't matter. Things are supposed to have emotional weight, and they don't in Stranger Things. I'm sorry. Nothing has emotional weight, and it's like, it got to a point where it's like, it's kind of like Supernatural, where Supernatural was like, it doesn't matter if you die, you end up coming back anyway. So, like, when characters would die, it wouldn't matter. And fans wouldn't really care. So, like, I just, like, it's just so, I don't know. I was very disappointed with it, and I was also very disappointed with how they responded to it. Not that I liked them. I don't like the Duffer Brothers anymore. I haven't for quite some time. But, like, I truly don't understand how seasons 1 and 2 were so good, and then season 3 was okay, and then season 4 had some very wonderful moments in it, but then season 5 just, like, it completely fucking fell off. Like, they really just, it feels like they just, like, didn't care. And that's the thing, is that apparently they had another show lined up at Netflix. And it's like, well, no kidding. You were worried about this other future project and not focusing on the one you're doing. That the writing suffered. And that's what happened, I think, with Game of Thrones. I'm pretty sure the showrunners and the creators of Game of Thrones were working on the final season of Game of Thrones, and they had the other spin-off show lined up already with HBO, and they dropped the ball on the current season because they were so focused on the other one. It's like, girl, one thing at a fucking time. Like, I know that that's not possible sometimes in the film industry, but, like, holy fuck, so many people have invested themselves in this show and these characters and this plot. You should at least care a little bit. At least a little bit. Like, come on, man. What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? I don't know. It really bothered me. It really did. And I just, I was so frustrated and annoyed and mad. But more will be talked about in this other video that I'm doing, and it will be more cohesive because I feel like my thoughts were so sporadic in this. But it will be more cohesive, and it will make more sense as to why I'm talking about it and Stranger Things again together. And I know I said I wasn't going to talk about Stranger Things Season 5, but because all of my opinions are negative, I feel like it doesn't matter. Because I'm not praising them. I wouldn't have done that anyway. I don't know. I've been so disappointed with how shows end. And the last few times that, like, I've watched a show from beginning to end, and it's ended, I think The 100 was one of them. I wasn't fully disappointed with the last season of The 100, which is 7 seasons, by the way. 7 seasons. And it was a full season, which was unheard of because it was before, they filmed it before COVID, and then it came out as COVID was happening, the final season. Did I agree with some of the things that happened? No, because it was out of character. But I do remember not being completely upset by the finale. I was happy with the finale. Did I think it was the best season? No, it was not. In comparison to the rest, it was really weak. But the way it ended, to me, felt better than what could have had. I don't know. Like, it's just like The 100 is one of those that, like, I wasn't super disappointed with how it ended. Gotham was another one. I wasn't super disappointed with how it... I don't really remember how Gotham ended. It's been such a long time. But I did watch that show from beginning to end. What is it? What's another one? There's been so many shows. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I was upset, but that's because the network didn't give them enough. I was upset because the season was too short. The last season for Brooklyn Nine-Nine was far too short. It was only like 10 episodes, I think. That's what upset me, and that has nothing to do with the writers or anything, because like the characters are consistent throughout that entire show. The writing is so consistent throughout that show. I was just sad that it wasn't longer, but that was a network thing. That had nothing to do with them. But yeah, I've just been, I was like, dude, this is a bummer. This is a bummer, bro. I'm bummed. I'm bummed because the show sucked. The season sucked. I am unhappy. Anyway, the last thing I wanted to talk about was the Critics' Choice Awards. I didn't watch them. I'm gonna say that outright. I did not watch the Critics' Choice Awards because I didn't realize they were happening. I'm gonna be so honest. I didn't realize that they were going on the day that they were going on. I haven't been paying attention to when award shows were occurring. I think I watched the Emmys. I didn't watch the Critics' Choice Awards. So yeah. But I did see, I looked at the winners and stuff. Adolescence got all of its fucking praise that it should have gotten, which, like, as it should. That show was crazy. It was so good. But Sinners and Weapons got a lot more recognition and won a lot more awards than I thought they were going to. And not in terms of nominations, but in terms of wins. Because a lot of the time, the horror genre is not taken seriously as a whole by critics or by the Academy or what have you. And Frankenstein also was up there because Jacob Elordi won for playing Frankenstein's monster, which to me is fucking insane. Like, that is crazy. Hair and makeup won, and costume design won for Frankenstein as well, which, like, as it should. The shit that they put Maya Goth in, stunning, absolutely stunning. I was amazed at her costume design but the makeup that they put Jacob Elordi in, I think he said that, because I saw an interview of him talking about it, they said it took him like 8 hours every day to get into that makeup. What do you do for 8 hours? I would sleep. But then again, like, you have to be awake because in case they need you to, like, move or something. But I would be 8 hours in makeup, and then you have to go film for, like, 12. That's not true. But, like, you have to go film for another 8 hours. So, like, half your day is spent in makeup. That's fucking crazy, dude. That is insane. That is bonkers bananas. Ridiculous. So, I was glad that it got a lot of recognition. I think youngest actor went to the actor from Sinners as well. So deserved. He fucking slayed in that movie. He did so well. He did so good. I will never stop thinking about that scene that he was in with at the juke joint and whatnot. Timothée Chalamet won for Marty Supreme for Best Actor. And Michael B. Jordan was nominated as well for his role in Sinners. And, like, look, I do like Timothée Chalamet. I respect him as an actor. I think he's doing a lot. He cares about the film industry a lot as well. and especially with Murray Supreme, he's been doing a lot to get people to go see the movie in theaters. That is what his goal has been this whole time. And I respect him for it because that's not an easy thing to do right now. But the way that he was going about marketing, he understood, like, people don't have the attention spans they used to, and, like, we need to be quippy and quick and make people want to go see this movie. And, like, I understand he put a lot of work into this, but, like, he did more preparing for the Bob Dylan movie than I think he did this film. He did not get the recognition he deserved for the Bob Dylan film. And I think this one, he just threw himself into it more right after doing Bob Dylan. And, like, I haven't seen it yet. I'm seeing it tomorrow. But, like, in Sinners, Michael B. Jordan is playing two different characters. They're twins, granted, but they're two different characters. And when you are watching the movie, you can tell which is which twin because of his facial expressions and his, like, body language. That's insane. And the fact that Michael B. Jordan didn't win bothers me. It bothers me. It does. Because I love Timothée Chalamet. I do. But he has a movie coming out every December for the next, like, I think, like, 2 years, 3 years, or, like, the last, like, 5 years, he's had a movie come out in December. So he's always at award shows. Not to say that before 30, he was in so many movies that are staples, that are just really good. Like, he was in Beautiful Boy, he was in Calling Me By Your Name, he was in Dune, he did Wonka, he did this, he did Bob Dylan. Like, he's been in so much that, like, his range of roles is crazy. And also just, like, I'm not saying he's not talented, but I'm also saying, like, when you look at it subjectively, it is a white man who has been acting in stuff and has something coming out every year, to a black man who not only worked doing two roles, but did it so well that it was distinctive. It's not easy to play twins and play two different characters in the same thing. That's why, like, with people, like, people harp on, like, the Vampire Diaries and Supernatural for, like, its ridiculousness. But also, when you look at the acting that went into those shows, like, when Nina Dobrev was playing two different characters that were vastly different, you could tell they were vastly different. Misha Collins played two different versions of Castiel in the same season, and they were very different, and it was scary how different they were. That's incredible talent that not every actor has. And I think to, like, oversee that, to me, is just very disappointing. However, I am glad Leonardo DiCaprio didn't win. I'm gonna be honest, because I do think he might get the Oscar for it. For what the fuck even is the movie called? I don't even know. I just know he's in it. One Battle After Another. Is that what it's called? Yes, One Battle After Another. Because they won Best Picture or Best Drama, I think. Oh my god, this movie's almost 3 hours long. Why? It's on HBO. I need to watch it in preparation for the Oscars. But also, what the hell, man? I don't know. Okay. I'm just glad he didn't win, because I know he was nominated for Best Actor for that film. So, but I truly believe that Sinners deserved more flowers than it got, but Weapons got a lot of really great awards as well, that it should have, because, dude, Weapons was just so good. It was such a good movie for an original horror film. And then you had Sinners on top of that. Weapons and Sinners coming out in the same year is, like, actually a crime. The Holy Trinity last year of horror was Weapon, Sinners, and Frankenstein. Which is like, it's crazy because it's like such a vast range of things. But also not really, but also yeah. Because like one is vampires, the other is Frankenstein, who is a staple in the horror community. And then you have witchcraft lady with crazy bob controlling children. That's such a horrible way to like summarize Cinders. Weapons. What the fuck am I even saying? I don't know. I need to stop talking. But yeah, I think the SAG Awards are going to be interesting for the same reason. Because the Critics' Choice Awards are one of those that kind of like sets up everything else, as well as like the Golden Globes. I think I didn't watch the Golden Globes either. Did those happen already? I don't know. I think they did. I don't know. I haven't been on top of award season stuff lately, so it's been hard for me to follow. I will be watching the Oscars though, as I always do. Anyway, that's all for me. I will be going to go see Murray Supreme tomorrow, so I will be following up with thoughts next week on if it is worthy of Timothée Chalamet winning the award. But the only thing I've heard about this damn movie is that he plays ping pong, and he gets hit in the butt with a ping pong paddle. And it was like over an hour of shooting or something, and they had 40 takes or something like that, and he got smacked in the ass, and he refused to have a butt double. But okay. That's the only thing I know about it. And I know that Odessa is in it. I love her. She's my celebrity twin. I know Odessa's in it, and I know Gwyneth Paltrow is also in it, and also Tyler, the Creator. Love him so much. But yeah, that's all for me. I will see you guys next week to debrief about Marty Supreme. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week to debrief about anything else that's going on, and I hope you're all doing okay. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later. Okay,